Get into some of the reasons why we put this armor on. And you know, it all, as I always say, it goes back to that survival mode. And if you have any trauma or have ever had any trauma, you know what I'm talking about, because you need that armor to survive, to get through that situation, that trauma that you're going through. You know, me being the stroke survivor, and I talked about that a little bit, I definitely had to have some strong armor, because you know, you gotta fight, you can't give up when you're, you know, in a situation like that, because the moment that you give up, that's gonna be all she wrote. So you can't ever give up. That's why I said, you know, get up, dress up, never give up. Did I skip one? Get up, dress up, yeah, never give up. Get up, show up, dress up, there it is, and never give up. That's like my favorite saying. So we got to be that. So self-doubt ties into all this. You know, we've been talking about self-doubt, and you know, this is my little bugaboo, if you will, you know, the self-doubt thing. And that's why I wanted to do the series too, because I know I ain't the only person who has self-doubt in the world. I think we all have a little bit of self-doubt from time to time, but this is something I really wanted to drill into. So, you know, we need to emotionally regulate. So emotional regulation, you know, you probably heard that term thrown around. A lot of people are talking about, well, that means don't react. Yes, that is true. But you've got to be authentic about how you react. You don't want to be in a situation where you're just dying on the inside. You're screaming, yelling on the inside. You know, maybe it's that intuition tapping you on the shoulder saying, don't do this, you know. But so you put on that, you know, that big pretty smile, you know, and you're like, oh, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. And, you know, you don't feel that way on the inside. Well, let me tell you a little secret. Your body knows when it's being lied to. You can put on that mask all day long, you know. You can do a show 5 days a week. And your brain knows, your body knows, and it's going to retaliate in stress, in anxiety, in depression, and all these things that we don't want to deal with. So, you know, what do we do in these kind of situations? First of all, we need to recognize that emotional regulation is strength. It's not weakness. Folks, it's okay to cry. Becky, it's okay to cry. Yeah. You know, telling myself that. You know, it's okay. You need to feel your feels. It's very important to feel your feelings.